Hello, welcome to the Birmingham Property News Show. My name's Ewan Rankin. I'm a Birmingham-based photographer, and we're here to discuss all of the things related to property around the Birmingham area. Joining me, as always, in the studio, fresh from a trip to London, wheeling some deals. Mr. James Forrester from Barrows and Forrester. How you doing, buddy?
Very well, how are you?
Yeah, excellent. How was the trip?
Tiring. I'm literally obviously just walked in, haven't I? That's why we're slightly delayed, so I do apologise for that, but it's, really productive day down in London.
Cool.
I personally don't like going London. I think it's...
I didn't for a long time, but it grew on me a little bit.
Well, to be honest, I've not, I go quite often, but I was at St Pancras Station today where I was having my meeting. Beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful. But it's a bit like that Tale of Two Cities we've talked about, that you go in there, you see it all, it's fancy, it's lovely. I was at the if I pronounce this right, the Renaissance Hotel, just as you walk in.
Yeah.
Lovely, obviously all business meetings, go. Then you walk outside and you trip over all the homeless people, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's...
It's one of them where... And then you've got people begging and you're not sure if they're genuine or not.
Well, I think that's a big city thing, though. I did a trip to San Francisco. I spoke at the last Macworld that was there, and I was quite shocked at the number of homeless people there were. And it's in a temperate climate there as well, so...
Yeah, maybe because it's a tourist area. It's where obviously you get the Eurostar now from. So naturally, you just, people from, non-UK a bit more friendlier in a way, or more generous maybe with the money, where obviously a lot of UK people don't like to give money anymore. They would rather do hot drinks or food or vouchers or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So, but apart from that, look, it's one of those things, will things improve? We don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, busy day. So, Let's get on with the show. I'm ready for bed.
Well, absolutely. Let's crack straight on, because the first story has got to be the A34 has now got a new cycle route. Now, we all know you're a decent cyclist and a keen cyclist. So what's this mean for you?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Doesn't it help you get into work quicker?
No, it's on the wrong side for me. I'm on the west side. We're still waiting for all the plans to come to the west side of Birmingham.
Don't you feel like going north just so you can come down it?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I will do, just to go and have a look at it. I'll probably do a video on my GoPro, and then we can show what it's actually like.
Yeah, cool.
But look, it's good news. It's a long time coming. It's only partly opened as well. But is it? I think it's one of them where it's been getting ready. Bit of anticipation, get it open.
Yeah.
You can only get to certain parts, but, look, it's good news for Birmingham. It's all blue now, so if you see blue on the road, think cyclist. There's a couple of junctions and stuff where, I'm not a big fan of the whole design of it, and I've made it quite public, just purely because I think there's a lot more knowledge on a driving point of how they've, done this. Needs to go into it. But apart from that, look, I think it's great. Hopefully it'll bring more people out on their bikes. The city's getting congested as it is today, which doesn't really affect this lane, but they've just announced, so for the viewers, they've just announced that they're going to shut the underpass now at 5 ways down from the 3rd of June right through to 2021.
To do what?
For the tram. To start all the utility work for the tram coming through.
That's a mess up there to start with, and that's with the underpass open.
It's gonna be a nightmare. Full stop. We're already maxed out, aren't we? In a way, so bike lanes are going to be good. Not everyone's going to be happy about them, but let's just see what happens. I think it is good. We need to do a lot more. I think the difference is, Birmingham shouting about one partly open lane. But let's get some money spent, get it all connected up everywhere, and you'll probably see that a lot more people will come out on their bikes if they feel safe enough.
I thought it was quite interesting because it looks from the pictures that I've seen on the story that they haven't messed with the road to achieve this, which is kudos to them, because normally, I mean, there's a bypass in a part of town here, Chelmsley Wood, just up the road, and they took a dual carriageway, which was a bypass for the main part of Chelmsley Wood, and they carved a cycle route into it and made it single carriageway, and it is chock-a-block constantly now, where it was free-flowing before.
Well, it probably is until the...
And they haven't done that here.
Well, no, and it's good that they've managed to find the land to do it. And I think if they're clever, they can do it more and more across the place. But look, you've got the Clean Air Zone coming into force in January 2020. So anyone with a diesel or petrol car, I think it's petrol as well, but definitely diesel older than 2015, sorry, but you're going to be penalised £8 a day to come into the city anyway. So, and that includes the Jewellery Quarter. It's a big, big area, this zone. So I think you will find that the traffic will change from next year. which is good. Don't forget me wrong. Look, everyone wants clean air. They want it to be healthy. But if you want people then to come out on bikes and everything as well, you need to provide more. You know, you need more of this and get it going quickly. You know,
the clean air zone as well includes the Queensway, doesn't it? That goes through and underneath.
Yes,
and that's wrong because that's a through. I know you're going to say, well, there's people with diesel cars are going to be coming through there anyway. Yes, they are, but they're a constant speed. They're going to be going through and out of the city. It seems a bit wrong to kind of take an £8 toll off them for going through that section.
Well, it is. Look, I'm not against it. You know, I just think that the area could have been thought of a lot better. But let's look at it. You know, Sadiq Khan's only just put the London one in, hasn't he? You know, their equivalent of their clean air zone, £12.50 a day. This is Birmingham, £8 a day. London wages are up here. Yeah. Birmingham wages are down here. So, you know, I just don't think people are aware it's coming.
You're telling me I've got to sell my car, effectively?
You're in a hybrid, you're all right.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not? I thought it was a hybrid.
No, it's a diesel.
Okay, well, as long as you're Euro 6 and above, you're all right.
I probably don't think I am.
You're probably not. It's £8 a day, unless you get on the bike and you can come on the A34. So it's...
Yeah, I can cycle north to come south.
Yeah. So you're all right. But look...
Thanks, Birmingham.
But it's all right. But I think the key thing is, you know, they've got... I think for the police, I think for Birmingham City Council, they've got to get more awareness in for the drivers more than anything else. Because it's great saying think blue. You know, it's think blue, let cyclists through, I think now is the new strap line that they're coming out with. That blue will fade over time.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, you've got to make sure it's there. But I think it's great. I think it's going to be good. I think once they get the other ones opened up as well, it's going to be better. But start to connect everywhere up, I think, more and more. I think it's great having this just partly opened. And obviously we've got the other one coming as well. You know, when it'll all be done on the A38. When that one's done, so on the other side of the city, you know, but let's get them all connected. You know, I think if they go through and get it put in, they'll see a massive transformation in the city. Yeah. You know, and I know, you know, we always have that argument: drivers against cyclists and cyclists against drivers. Look, I cycle to work sometimes. I drive a lot of time to work, so I do see it on both sides. And funny enough, I was on social media earlier, and I've just put a comment because I know. I forget the guy's name. Let me have a look. Keep talking, you, and I'll find it. Think on your feet.
So filling in on time here, then. The cyclist. I think it's a good thing. The route's good. I like having cyclist routes. I hate the fact that town planners are obsessed with hating cars, because until you've got better public infrastructure for transport, you can't say that cars aren't a solution.
You can't, and I think I am searching away here. I'll find it. I think the difference is everyone's going to get penalised one way or another. I think what we need to be doing is just finding more. And I think as you know, if public transport gets better, you know, the way the metro can be obviously moved forward. You know, I think you'll just find it getting better. You know, and look, I think bikes getting out is good. You know, you see it in London. You know, with the super cycle highways. Yeah, there's more people on bikes than ever before.
That's good.
You know,
it's an absolute
so it
positive.
does show. It works,
but it is a stealth tax. Things like clean air are a stealth tax because they're not going to actually clean the air up.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's one of the key. I'm trying to find it now. So it was Martin Lewis who put it out. Problem is now you've just got everyone going, "Why are you attacking cyclists?" and "I hate cyclists," and you know, and everything.
There we
go. I found it now. So he's done a poll. Sir Robert Winston,
right?
Obviously, he got attacked, didn't he, recently? Unfortunately, and after telling a cyclist to get off the pavement. So there's a bit of to and fro between the two here. But what he's asking is saying that you should all cyclists to have basically a number plate or visible ID so they can be accountable for their actions. So, you know, my answer to that is, and it's obviously with being a keen cyclist myself, is, well, what do you class as a cyclist? Is that someone commuting every day? Is it your teenage son or daughter who gets on their bike in the evening for you to nip to the shop? Is it someone who goes on a weekend only? You know, what is a cyclist? It's not the same as you're a driver. You know, once you're in that car, you know, that potentially could be a very dangerous vehicle if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. So I've sort of said, well, actually, rather than looking at it going this way, I'll tell you what I've put, because I've just found it, which is good. So I've put, I'm a cyclist and a driver, and it's a difficult one as what is classed as a cyclist, as it's not the same as driving a car. I wonder if all cyclists who use the road, if they had to have compulsory insurance instead, would more drivers give more care towards the cyclists, and vice versa in case of a claim? I think that would make a bit of a difference, because if you can make a claim on insurance, typically you look at things very, very differently.
I think it's interesting as well, though, because if you look at things like segways or the hoverboards things, if you want to ride one of those on the pavement, they're maxed out at 10 miles per hour.
Well, don't forget you've got electric bikes now, like I have as well.
Yeah, and it is illegal to ride one of those hoverboards or a Segway on the pavement. Yet you can ride a bicycle on the pavement, which will do 20 miles an hour quite comfortably.
15.5 on the EU.
Well, yeah, but it's
not
limited.
Motorised motor, but you could. Well, look, you could do if you're going.
No, just a straight cyclist. If the straight cyclist wants to pelt it down the pavement with an old lady in the way,
of course,
they can be doing 20 miles an hour.
Well, look, if I come down the Hagley Road, I could be easily doing 35, 40 miles an hour, on the race bike. So you put that onto the pavement, you can see what happens. But I think if you're commuting, this comes down to what we're talking about here about the cycle lane eventually starting to partly open. Is that cyclists? The majority of cyclists here, and I think all the commuting cyclists, they don't want to be on the pavement.
Yeah.
But to get off the pavement, you need safe cycle lanes, because, if I'm cycling in the morning at say 7:30, 8 o'clock, I can see people now thinking, I'll set off in the car now when you're out. It's dangerous going down that Hagley Road. You've got two lanes of traffic coming down, all at 30 miles an hour because of the average speed camera, and obviously everyone tests that, to the limit. And then you're having to weave in and out. There's no safety net, of a cycle lane or anything where you go. The only parts, I would typically get of it is at the top, just past the Wolverhampton Road, where heading down towards Bearwood, you've got the bus lane. Yeah. So obviously you've got that little sort of freedom there, just to come away from the main traffic. But from Bearwood all the way up to Five Ways, you're in the traffic. There's no safety net.
Yeah, I think
we need more of this.
It's quite interesting as well that they've taken a lovely picture of it and there isn't a single bike inside.
Well, so we have to say it only opened yesterday. So it's fresh.
It is.
The police have been on it, so I have photos of the police, and there's a lot of, and the councillors have been on it and that. But actually, there's photos out today of cyclists already on it and starting to use it, which is good. And I think, it's I'm all up for it. I just think there needs to be more. I agree that on a driver point, you don't want to be affected as much, like you're saying. Taking the double ones, the double lanes down to a single lane. But there's a bit of give and take here. How big do you need your pavements to be?
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference now. I think if you want to have this done properly, then you're going to have to make some tough choices. It's not going to please everybody. But at the same time, look, we've got the tram coming through the city centre soon. A lot of traffic's going to be stopped from literally entering Birmingham city centre anyway, apart from getting into car parks.
Yeah.
When you look at the plans that are moving forward. So, make it more accessible for people, which is great. It's great putting all bike stands everywhere. But if you can't get into the city or it's too dangerous to get into the city, no point having the bike stands in the first place.
Yeah.
But look, good news. It's a start. Let's get more.
Cool. Absolutely. The next thing then is something that's close to your heart. The Olympic-sized swimming pool that is being built for the Commonwealth Games over in Sandwell.
Oh, yes.
And everyone wants to halt it.
Well, about 20 protesters do.
Or the Green Party as well, though.
Oh, no. You're going to love this. So I don't mind bringing this up. So this is where sometimes politicians need to learn sometimes how to react to people. So this went on because I live around this area.
Yeah.
I'm all up for it. I think, it's one of them. I see the pros and the cons for it, but Londonderry playing fields are typically where you walk your dog at the moment. Yes, there's been, you've got some of the football gets played there, but the whole area needs something to shout about. Be proud of it. If you've got world-class facilities, don't forget this is coming to Sandwell. Yeah. Not Birmingham University or Solihull or anywhere. It's coming into Sandwell. Now, yes, there's an argument to say there's brown sites that could have been chosen and you could have made a big Albury sport, leisure, huge facility on it. But I think it's nice where it's going. The cons, okay, public transport's not great to get there. Could be improved for the Commonwealth.
It would be, yeah.
It'll have to be. After that, for the locals, it's great and it'll all benefit the local people. However, coming back to what I was saying. So last night, the Conservative local councillors put out for point scoring going, we're against this and we're joining the protests. This is all because of Labour, blah, 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 blah. And I gently said to them, look, I'm not a fan of either party at the moment. Stop, politically point scoring. If you don't like it, that's fair enough. But rather than just going, we don't like it, and there's other sites, show us another site. Show the plans.
Have a plan, yeah, absolutely.
And let's have a proper discussion about it, rather than going, well, we don't like it there and we think there's other places.
Discuss the alternatives.
Well, this went on all night last night, until the councillor turned round and went, are you even from the area?
Oh, dear me.
Bearing in mind, this particular councillor is not from
I would say, yes,
this
are
area.
you?
So I was like, yeah, I am actually. I said, I live in the area. I have a business running the area. I employ staff in the area. I said, I walk my dog on the fields. I said, what about yourself? Funny enough, I haven't had a response. And I've actually then gone further and gone, and it's that type of response that actually probably will not even get you elected in now, which a lot of people have followed afterwards, sort of agreeing and saying, yeah, okay. If you're from in the area, there is a bit of pros and cons to it. It's more pro than con, to be honest. It doesn't matter where that centre would go, there's going to be people who will complain about it. The difference is they did look at other sites. This became the most viable one because don't forget, yes, it could be at the other side of Sandwell, but then it might not fit into the Commonwealth Games for Birmingham. So you need a bit of pro and con, but rather than just moan about it, and like being blunt, just come up with a viable plan. If you could say, well, look, here's another site. Here's the design for it. It fits in. Here's the parking. Yeah. Here's the numbers. Here's the transfer. Everything that you're saying that this goes against, then show it. And then you can have a proper discussion about it. But basically last night, obviously it went to the council. It already had the planning. It then had to go into the council to get its full planning now. And it went through last night. It's going to be great. Absolutely great for Sandwell. I'm so pleased.
Excellent. Good news. I did hear that the university swimming pool was only counted out because it's short by small. Yeah, I'm going to say inches, but I think it might be more than that. But it is not much out. But the reason they can't do it is they can't set any world records or Commonwealth records.
I've heard similar. I don't know how much.
I don't know if it's true, but
I don't know how much it's true. Look, this is just absolutely great. 50-metre Olympic-sized competition swimming pool, studio pool, 25-metre diving pool, 1,000 spectator seats. Think of all the schools in Sandwell now that could potentially be using this. Swimming clubs, bring it all back, from that. Obviously, we've got the events in 2022, but it's not just a pool. People forgetting this. There's going to be a gym there, a ladies' gym, indoor cycling studio, activities. There's 8-court sports hall. I think they've got some the AstroTurf pitches going outside. There's sauna steam room. There's going to be an urban park, children's play area. So it's not just sticking a building on and going, there's a swimming pool inside. No, this is why it will benefit the local area outside. And I'm just really, really happy this has gone ahead. And for, for the Smethwick and Langley area, which really is going to benefit the most of it, this is great news for them. And I'm so pleased.
Brilliant. Absolutely good. Now then, Birmingham is back as a property powerhouse.
Oh, you're leaving the most exciting news to last.
The really big story's coming at the very end. Yeah, you're going to have to stay till the end.
I know. I can tell you now, if you're travelling into Birmingham tomorrow, so we have to make sure we put this out live tonight.
Yeah,
come in by public transport because you will not get parked tomorrow, and that's what is being said.
Really?
Do not enter Birmingham in your car tomorrow because of this announcement.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's the one at the end.
The one at the end. Yeah, not because of this one. But this is important, and it is exciting.
So Birmingham is back as a property powerhouse, thanks to the fact that London is bursting at the seams.
Yeah, well, look, Birmingham, I should say Birmingham was, because I'm not from Birmingham, was the industrial powerhouse of Europe.
The city of 1,000 trades.
It was. It was huge.
Quarters, no.
Yes. It was huge, wasn't it? And I've made this pretty bad. I think Birmingham's lost its identity a little bit over time, and it hasn't been sure where to go. And I think now, all of a sudden it's just starting to come back bit by bit. Nice big infrastructure projects are coming in. Not HS2, so don't even go there. But
no. You're saying about losing. I just want to challenge you on that because has Birmingham lost its identity, or is it searching for a new one because the old one wasn't there? So you look at especially the jewellery quarter where your offices are. There's been a massive change there in terms of the types of industry that used to be there and are there now.
Absolutely.
And those have all folded. And yes, it's lost its face on that regard. But, you look at the Chinese quarter, for example, Will Wong, that we both know, who owns, is one of the owners of the Chung Ying Group in Birmingham. Their Chinese restaurant.
Does that mean we get free Chinese because he's got a plate?
No. The Chung Ying restaurant in the Chinese Quarter
It's nice.
is a lovely restaurant, great dim sum, perfect dim sum. We had a talk, his 10 minutes was today and he looked good. But no, apart from that, that was the first Chinese restaurant to spring up in that area around the Hurst Street basin. And now there is an entire quarter that's evolved effectively around that single restaurant.
Absolutely.
And
no, don't get me wrong.
It's got a new identity, is what I'm saying. Rather than losing the old one, it's just.
Well, no, I think you have to get the two together.
Right.
So you're always going to, look, Birmingham's a very diverse city.
Mm-hmm.
Very intercultural, fantastic. Everyone, sort of coming together. But you never want to lose what your history was. I think if you lose your history, that's it. You're going to lose your character. You're going to lose the real effect of what it is that brings you to the city. If you look at it, we're surrounded by canals. And we don't shout out enough about them.
More canals than Venice, as Birmingham City Council keep telling us.
In the summer, I love it down there in the summer. You can go in there on a Friday after work. The place is heaving. You've got families walking around as well. You've got the city workers coming out. The boats are going up and down. It's just a lovely place to be.
So instead of being a wharf where we produce or move cotton or any other kind of commodity,
it's moved with the times.
Exactly.
But we've
still got our canals.
But it hasn't lost its history, and I think that's what I'm getting at. Is where it's lost its identity. It wasn't sure which way to go. Does it go new? Does it go old? No, you want to still keep your traditional values, and then just allow the new to involve in this. And I think this is what's happened. You've had London, boom. Manchester, boom. Leeds, boom. Obviously my area, Newcastle, starting to boom now as well, which is fantastic. And I think Birmingham's been very heavily linked, as you know, on HS2. It's HS2. Just put HS2 out the window for 1 second. And let's just look what's happening, in it. We've got great property developments going ahead, and they're using it, like the Soho Wharf area, around Dudley Road, all canal side, again, taking away the old sheds and buildings, for example, as well, and creating a new sort of community, a nice new villages in a way from that. Now, not everyone will agree because they'll go to apartments. We don't like them. We want houses. But that's where the change happens altogether, and it will make it a very lovely place to be and bring more people out to it as well, which I think is great. You've got Bank, look at right on Broad Street, right in the heart of the city, the two big skyscrapers pouring out. Who would have imagined 4 or 5 years ago that happening on Broad Street in Birmingham?
So do you not think then that facilitation of that growth is helped by an ease of commute to London?
Look, I was comfortably, I know where you're going on this, and you know what? When I was sat there, I was going to get my phone out and actually go, Ewan, so...
If only there was a high-speed way to go between Birmingham and London.
I was going to say, you know what? I've jumped on the train, I've reserved my seat, it's been nice and comfortable, came in under 100 quid.
Did you go first class then?
No, for 100 quid for a return ticket, nice and straightforward. A lot of people say that's expensive, London, but that's probably the average, unless you can book well in advance from that. Sat there comfy, an hour and 20 minutes. It's an hour and 24, but for argument's sake.
Yeah.
So say to get in and out of the station, an hour and a half, I was done. That was nice and comfortable. I didn't feel I was rushed.
No, it's a great journey. I take it regularly.
Yeah, and I thought it was just good. That extra 20, 30 minutes won't make any difference to a lot of people, which is why. But moving on, we're not talking about that today. But I think the difference is, we have to look at it. The Jewellery Quarter, as you said, has completely changed. There's some big plans with some.
But the finance markets are coming to Birmingham as well. That's going to make a big difference. That's where the big commute's going to be, and it's not required anymore. Absolutely.
Now, one thing that might shoot me in the head, and this is probably headlines more than anything else, is when we hear luxury developments are coming. It's not always about having luxury. It's about having high quality, affordable housing.
Yeah,
that's what the market wants. This is not London. This is not Hong Kong or anywhere. We have to remember that. This is Birmingham, the second city, fantastic city, high quality, affordable properties. That's what the local community is asking for. Let's start providing it more and more. What we don't need is, £400,000-500,000 apartments all the time.
No.
Let's keep
sitting doing nothing because it's been bought by an angel investor or
that and
an overseas investor and who's got no intention of actually occupying it.
Exactly. Look, and you've got a lot of conservation areas, obviously Jewellery Quarter being a part of them, so there's a lot of restrictions that are going in that. We've got, St. Paul's, or the St. Paul's Quarter, whichever you like to call it. And again, As you know, I'm a fan of Elevate Property Group. They're doing some lovely stuff around the city. Court Collaboration doing some lovely stuff around the city as well, really changing the skylines and what's happening in the area as well. Galliard Homes are now getting involved. They've obviously they've got the Timber Yard obviously coming in with their partnership with Apsley House Capital. Again, all changing the whole area where it used to be the cotton factories, but are now now representing sort of the new intake, if you want to say that, or the new life that's arriving in Birmingham. And need comfortable homes. And it's not just about the homes. You don't have to look at the commercial aspects, the retail aspects, just the general way of life, when you enter out your property. And I actually think now, Birmingham is bouncing back. It's took a bit of time as well. And it is just slowly, just starting to.
But there's an opportunity to have a managed growth now, rather than just letting it boom and losing control.
Yeah, what you don't want is just that massive jump.
Which will come though, if you're not careful, if you're not prepared, that will happen to you before you even notice.
Yeah, you're better off just having it just, generally up. Yes, everyone would say it's got to stop, but it is supply and demand. But let's look at let's put the property to one side. Since 2017, guess how many major companies have relocated from London?
200?
600.
Really?
Yep.
I thought I was being over-egging it at 2. So
that's more than any other city. So, you've got Deutsche Bank, HSBC about to open up the new HQ, PwC, HMRC, loads of people are relocating, obviously into Birmingham itself. It's going to be absolutely, I think in the next few years, it's going to be amazing. There's 10,000 new homes going to be delivered in the next over the next few years. And that's only by about 5 or 6, big developers. And there's a queue of buyers queuing up. Not, UK based buyers are not always keen to buy off plan. They'd like to wait, see when it's going to be finished. But if you don't get in there early, you're going to miss out. Because people are ready to secure their plot. They want to, and that's the whole point about how buyers are changing. Not everyone wants a house these days. Some people like living in the city. They want to be walking distance to all the amenities, just have that ease of way of life. People work long hours. They want to get back. They want to have their food to be delivered from any restaurant that they want. That's just the world that we're moving into. Regardless if we agree or disagree with it, that's just the way that we're moving into it. And I think the good thing about it now is we're starting to cater for a demanding market. And that's why companies like HSBC, PwC, etc., are all starting to make big relocations into Birmingham, because it's catering for their employees as well. And that's always something to remember.
Yeah, good. Right then, we're going to have a drum roll for this.
Oh yeah, we have to.
I'll have to dub it on afterwards.
Should we just check it definitely is happening tomorrow before we set...
it says this week.
No, it's tomorrow. It is tomorrow.
Right, okay.
So, do you want to announce it or...
Birmingham is getting the world's biggest Primark.
And it opens tomorrow.
The
11th. Actually, no, it's changed.
Oh, what's it? When is it?
They're now saying it's going to be Thursday the 18th.
Oh, it's a week away yet.
It's a week, all right. Pause this and we'll do that.
Okay, so next week on the Birmingham Property News Show.
Well, let's get it out there, because they are saying for when it opens.
A week is a massive delay in retail.
Yeah, well, it was. Well, it depends on which, obviously, media outlet you're listening to, and is it going to be right and everything. It's funny because don't forget they're going to open on the 18th, which on my calendar is
Thursday.
Is literally the day before the Easter weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
you're saying there's going to be traffic chaos in the middle of Birmingham because of a
don't
Primark
forget, this
store?
is 160,100 square feet of pure retail space. That is ginormous. It's over 5 floors of fashion.
Yeah. Well, to be fair as well, there's other things too. There is a cafe in there, a Disney-themed cafe, and they've put some stuff on the breakdown here. Kids lingerie, there's a comma in between those two. There's not kids lingerie, that wouldn't do.
No.
Primark cafe with Disney. Women's home, not women at home, women comma home. Custom lab t-shirt printing, that sounds pretty cool. Prime Market with technology. Stationary toys, Primark cafe.
Stop. So we have a worry here. So, Birmingham Mail are saying the 18th. The Sun is saying tomorrow.
Who would you go with?
You can never.
I think a week's a massive delay.
I think it's tomorrow. I read about this morning when I got a notification that, and the way it's looking, it's ready to open. So I actually do believe this is opening tomorrow.
You can get coffee on 4 of the 5 floors. Was that me?
Yeah,
I do apologise. I've triggered off your Siri.
On the Siri. But yeah, so I think it is actually opening tomorrow. So
1,000 people are going to work in the store.
Yeah, it's a huge. This is going to be one of the biggest employers. Obviously coming in. Don't forget, this has been going on for years, hasn't it? The work has been going on for years.
Where is it actually built?
So it's where the old Palisade. Is it
the Palisades? Yeah,
where that used to be. Yeah.
So it's all of that property. The whole
just up
thing.
from Marks and Sparks. That was the Palisades.
Yeah, those used to be loads of series little shops, and then
there was some independent.
There was a big Virgin store there.
Marks
Virgin
and Sparks
Megastore
backs onto it, and where HMV was, and you had the food court all upstairs, and everything as well. So it's the photos are amazing at this place.
It does look great.
This Disney cafe, for what you can get and everything, and it's not just, it is a proper themed cafe. When you walk in, you go through Mickey's, sort of ears, and
there's got to be Disney stuff on
and
sale there.
And there's one for adults and there's one for kids. So it's quite clever what they've thought about it. So I think this is definitely opening tomorrow.
Well, that was written on Tuesday, and they said that it was opening tomorrow on Tuesday. So if they put it back, they've only put it back yesterday or today. So today rather, yeah.
Well, everyone is it is got it here. Opening on. Wow, it's opening Thursday. So this is actually, as we're talking, the news feeds are changing about this. So this is, people will be thinking, whatever, it can't be that much big news. They are expecting, guess how many people they are expecting to turn up tomorrow for this?
Oh, 1 million.
All right, let's not go too low.
Well, I was out before below. Now I want to go above.
5,000 people for one store opening.
It's 5 floors, 1,000 people a floor.
Yeah, but that is...
A lot of coffee available.
A lot of coffee.
I hope they've got a lot of toilets as well.
Yeah. But that's, that has to be one of the biggest...
that's got to be
one of the biggest store openings that's going to happen. This is going to be huge. And that's why I was saying, because they want to see what all the fuss is about. Don't forget, it's been shut since 2016. So it was May. So it's literally 3 years, coming up to 3 years, this has been going on. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
You've got to sell a lot of cheap socks to get that back.
You are, and everything's cheap in Primark. But look, for what you need it for, it's good. It gets you what you need, isn't it? You want a t-shirt, get a t-shirt for £2. Great. But let's.
I can't wait. Do you know where I'm going to be tomorrow?
Primark.
Not there. You're
gonna be there. But that is interesting, isn't it? They're expecting 5,000 people.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. And I think Primark's changed, hasn't it? So it's interesting, because we're talking about this as Debenhams went into administration yesterday.
Yeah.
So it just gives you two tales of the high street. Is the high street dying, or aren't just certain corporations out of touch?
I think they're out of touch, yeah.
Because why would you have a company like this spend tens of millions to open up the biggest retail store, their flagship store now, really go for it, and then literally on the other side, you've got retailers like House of Fraser, Debenhams, for example, sort of getting rescued or going into administration and things like that as well. You just wonder, are they out of touch to, what people actually want on the high street? But look, I won't be there myself to do it. I wouldn't mind going up, actually, just doing a quick video so we could showcase how busy this will be. But
no.
I think it's...
no.
I think...
No, I'm not doing it. I'm going in town tomorrow, but I'm not doing that.
That's all right. I know Stuart likes to watch this channel, so I'm sure he's available.
Oh!
That's because you're my dig before, so I always think one back.
Okay.
But no, I'm just joking. I'm too busy tomorrow. Yeah, look, I think it's going to be interesting. But yeah, look, if you're going to come into the city tomorrow, expect traffic delays, expect public transport to be busy. I know it's weird, but you only have to look at a Boxing Day sale when Next opens up and there's people queuing. I think Primark is going to see the same.
Tomorrow,
well, I just find it interesting because Birmingham Live, as in the Birmingham A Live, is saying Thursday the 18th. But the Sun, and as we are talking now, is going, this opens tomorrow.
Right. Well, we'll find out. I'm not going to find out, but you can find out. But I'll be there. Fine.
Let's, if you go, let us
take some video. Send it here.
Yeah, come and let us know.
James might give you a job.
And well, we are looking for people, to be honest. So which is good. So everywhere else is saying tomorrow.
This show is sponsored by Barrows and Forrester Property Group, which James is the co-owner of. And if you would like to work for them, there's jobs available, apparently, he says. But also, you can also then sponsor this podcast if you want. So Barrows and Forrester is doing it, but if you'd like to sponsor it instead, then all you've got to do is write to us at info@birminghampropertynews.co.uk, and we will... hang on, we've got hot news coming in.
Can I just say, it's not us or the newspapers actually giving advice. Transport for West Midlands are putting alerts out.
Okay.
For how busy it's going to be because of Primark.
Fair enough.
So just to give you an idea, this is big.
You know it's serious news when he interrupts his own advert. So if you'd like to get in touch with us and sponsor the podcast, info@birminghampropertynews.co.uk, and you can sponsor the podcast, or you can just come and join in as well. If you've got anything to say, an ad about Birmingham Property News, then come here and join in on the studio, or you can dial in on the Skype lines and hear it. Where can people get a hold of you, James?
Well, obviously, if they want to get hold of me, they can get me on Facebook on Barrows and Forrester. Nice and simple. If you want to get me on Twitter, then it's James R. Forrester. Or just give us a call, 0121 296 2600. I know today we've had a bit of a laugh and a joke about what's happening, but sometimes you need to know what's going on in the city. It's not always about property. It's about actually what's going on.
Yeah.
Things like this. Don't forget, we're on about Primark. Should be actually getting paid now by Primark. But, it's going to be a big employer. All this makes a difference to the city, the local economy, and that's obviously why I want to bring it up. The swimming pool for the Commonwealth and Sandwell, before, during, after, it's going to be huge.
Yep.
Bike lane, great. This is all positive for Birmingham and the surrounding towns.
Excellent. My name's Ewan Rankin. I knew you said my name was Birmingham Property News then, which is not. My name's Ewan Rankin. You can get hold of me at Ewan Rankin on Twitter, or 12 Space Media on Twitter as well as. We'll be back again next week with another Birmingham Property News show. Might be a different format, though.
It is going to be a different format.
Definitely a different format. Have a great week, and get in touch if you need us. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.